Folks, don't whiz ahead because I've got something important to share with you. In this video, I'm not purely looking at 10,000 mile a year deals. I'm not purely looking at 3-year deals. Most of them are on that standard profile, but some of them are a wee bit different just because I think there's a bit more value in one of the other options. And this is something really a bit more specific to these in-stock deals when you often just have 1 or 2 brokers carrying some of the deals and they don't always put every possible lease profile on LeaseLoco. If the profile I show you in this video doesn't fit, just use that link that's obviously in the video description and pinned as a top comment and go to LeaseLoco and have a poke around for yourself and find something that suits. And also using that link helps me support this channel, which is massively important at the moment because I am down a sponsor. So please do what you can to help. You can also book a call with me if you want to talk anything about cars really, or even perhaps get a few hair tips. I'm going for the Galapagos Islands at the moment. And in addition to that, thumbs up, subscribe, and off we go. Now onto the cars. We're starting off with all the internal combustion engine stuff and then moving on to the EVs in the second half of the video. And we're getting things started with a Peugeot 208 1.2 PureTech 100 Allure. This is a 3-year deal, 3 months up front on 8,000 miles a year. Of course, it's in stock because it's in this video. 230 quid a month, and the upfront on it is £692. You'll see the average on it's been 360 quid a month. Currently 230. I mean, that's a pretty special price. Now, don't let the gallery fool you. This is the E208, not the actual normal 208, but the 208 is, in my opinion, the best looking small car on the market. 10.1 seconds to 62 on that one, 50 mpg, insurance group 21, 101 horsepower, and 352 litres of boot space. 230 quid against an average of, what did I say, 360. Not a bad deal at all. Next is the Nissan Qashqai. This one's the hybrid. It's the e-power, end connector, automatic. It's also got the glass roof, as you can see there. £290 a month with an upfront of 871. 0-62 in 7.9 seconds, 54 mpg, 190 brake horsepower, insurance group 25, and 479 litres of boot space. This is a 2-year deal on 8,000 miles a year. That 290 compares favourably to an average of 375. As you can see, no massive sort of peaks in this. At its absolute peak, it was 447 quid a month. Currently, £290. Great value car. Next, we've got the Toyota CHR. It's a grand up front and 337 a month. This is absolute bog standard price. These have only just come out. There's been no discounting or sort of price hikes on it, so it's where it's always been. But the important thing is it's in stock, so you could get one quite quickly. 10.2 seconds to 62, 58.9 mpg. Honestly, of all the hybrid systems on the market at the moment, the real world mpg figures you can get from Toyota is ridiculous. It's not plug-in hybrid either. You just put petrol in it and drive off and let it work its magic. But the MPG figures in the real world are pretty crazy. I've actually got one of these for review next week. So if you are thinking of biting the bullet, have a look at that. Insurance group 20, 447 litres of boot space, 140 horsepower. Just as I said, price is pretty much where it's been. We've got a 7-seater for you next. Skoda Kodiaq 1.5 TSI SEL Executive DSG Automatic, £374 a month, and an upfront price of $1,124. SEL execs are great spec level on Skoda. You get pretty much everything you're going to reasonably want. 9.8 seconds to 62, 39 mpg, 150 horsepower, insurance group 21, 270 litres of boot space is quoted, but that's with all 7 seats up. If you drop that back row of seats down, you're around about 800 litres of boot space, which is really mightily impressive. The average on this car has been 555 quid a month, and it's currently 374. At 374, it's the cheapest price we've seen one in the last 12 months. That's how good a bit of value this is. The highest price we've seen this in the last 12 months, 731 quid. So just wrap your head around that one for a second. You can see for most of the summer, this thing was 700 quid, all bar the shouting, or a bit over 700 quid. Currently 374. To be honest, I think that one's a little bit of a steal. It's a 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, obviously in stock. What was the upfront? 1124 and 374 a month. That is a decent bit of value. Audi A4 next. This one's the 40 TFSI 204 S-Line S-Tronic Tech Pack. That spec, that trim level, that engine, that gearbox, exactly what I would go for if I were leasing an Audi A4 myself. 405 quid a month. This is on a 2-year deal rather than a 3, on 10,000 miles a year. The upfront's £1,200, 7.3 seconds to 62, 39.8 mpg, 204 horsepower, insurance group 31 and 495 litres of boot space. And look at the price history on it. Average has been 531, so immediately 125 quid less than the average for the last 12 months. At its peak, 751. Now in the summer, sort of school holidays time, there were similar deals to this, and it did drop down for about 10 minutes to 365 quid, which was pretty amazing. But as you can see, it's more than recovered in the meantime. And it's really just the sort of tail end of Feb that prices have dropped down again. Currently £405 a month against an average of 531. Next, we've got the Honda CR-V, and it's the plug-in hybrid Advanced Tech ECVT. I've just had one of these in for review, and I'm not going to give you any spoilers because I want you to go and watch the video. But let's just say I liked it. 532 quid a month. This is a £54,000 car. This is on a standard 3-year, 10,000 mile deal. 1,600 quid up front, 532 a month. 9.4 seconds to 62, 184 horsepower, insurance group 37, 617 litres of boot space. It's got a silly claimed MPG, but if you keep the battery topped up, you won't be putting petrol in it very often. Put it that way. Price history on it, average has been 777 quid. Obviously, this is a new model, so it hasn't been out too long. At its highest point, it was £982 a month. Remember, it is a £54,000 car. It's currently 525, and I think that's an absolute steal. Because this is really a very, very good car. It's my second favourite Honda at the moment after the Civic, I would say, and the Civic's one of my favourite cars on the road, full stop. Onto the electrics. There are still Aura Funky Cat or 03 deals around at the moment. I'm just not showing them because I've shown them a million times before. You can get one for pretty much any budget you can think of if you get the profile right. On the standard at the moment, it's around about 240 quid a month. A lot of people have been struggling to get insurance on those. If you are one of those and you've now managed to get insured, drop the name of the broker you used in the comments. Now, anyone that's asked me the question, I've suggested they try Adrian Flux, simply because Adrian Flux are probably the biggest non-standard type broker in the market. And you might just be able to get hold of like an underwriter there and speak to them and explain, actually, the 03 is the Funky Cat. We know there's no ABI code for it, but could you have a word with the insurers? Blah, blah, blah. And they might just be able to get it done for you. I don't know. That's just my best guess. Subaru Solterra, 150 kilowatt limited, 71 kilowatt hour, automatic, all-wheel drive, 363 quid, 452 litres of boot space, 218 horsepower, 289 miles of range, and an upfront payment of 1,100 quid against an average of £898. So we're talking 500 quid less than the average, which is completely and utterly bananas. That's a 2-year deal on 8,000 miles a year. Fill your boots, folks. VW ID5's next, the Style Pro Performance, 77 kilowatt hour automatic, 441 quid. The upfront on that one is 1,325. This is a 3-year deal, 10,000 miles a year, 327 miles of range, 204 brake horsepower, insurance group 31 and 549 litres of boot space. And if we look at the price history on it, the average has been £550 a month, currently at 441. High point on that's been 651. Then onto the Polestar 2. This is the long range single motor, 466 quid a month. Again, a 3-year deal, 3 months up front, 10,000 miles a year, 405 litres of boot space, insurance group 41, 299 brake horsepower, 406 miles of range is claimed on that. 400 miles of range, folks. Wow. £1,400 is the upfront payment, and look at the price history. Average on it's been 687 quid, at its peak 761, and this is the best price we've ever seen on this particular model. 466 quid a month. 466 quid a month gets you a brilliant EV. I really like the Polestar 2. Over 400 miles of range, 0 to 62 in 6.1 seconds. There's a lot to like about that car, there really is, and I think that's a great price. Still some great deals around on the ID Buzz, just not quite as crazy as they were a couple of months ago. 484 quid a month. This is on a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Up front on that one being just under 1,500 quid. Price wise, average has been 749, at its peak 955, and when the prices did dip down on this profile, we're looking at £428 a month. 258 miles of range, 204 horsepower, insurance group 31, and 1121 litres of boot space. Brilliant thing. Room for your family, someone else's family, and a horse. They're that big. Yet the actual footprint of the car is smaller than a Tesla Model Y. Amazing, but true. And it's basically because it's got no bonnet to speak of. So it's really well designed, really good use of space, and just a nice thing to drive and an easy thing to live with. 1453 up front and 484 a month. Don't forget that link to LeaseLoco is there to be used. It's in the video description and pinned as the top comment. Ford Mustang Mach-E Premium. Rear-wheel drive, automatic, 372 miles of range, 294 brake horsepower, 402 litres of boot space, insurance group 41. The upfront payment on this one's $1,385. This is a 3-year deal with 3 months up front, but it's 8,000 miles a year. If you push it up to 10,000 miles a year, it puts basically 16 quid a month on the price. 788 a month has been the average. At its peak, look at this, 1,144 quid on Christmas Day. Yo ho ho. This time last year, we were looking at £906 a month. End of last March, it was over £1,000. And then for a lot of the year, it's been around about 800 quid, 900 quid, somewhere in that vicinity. Currently, the lowest price we've seen it in the last 12 months, and the lowest price we've seen it ever, $461.99 a month. That's a deal. Loads of range, loads of power, 0 to 67 seconds in it, which is not slow. I don't know, it just seems like a hell of a good price at the moment. Mercedes EQC 400 AMG line edition, 80 kilowatt hour, automatic obviously, 254 miles of range, 408 brake horsepower, 500 litres of boot space, insurance group 50, so you'll share an insurance group with the Tesla here, 0 to 62 in 5.1 seconds. So it's a bit sprightly as well. 1,400 up front and 476 a month. That's versus an average of £1,571 a month. £1,571 a month on average. The highest price it's been was £1,742. 1,742 quid down to 476. I don't know how I can beat this ever. Now, there's only one lease broker advertising this deal at the moment, so I'm guessing it's going to go in the snap of a fingers. So if, when you watch this video, the deal's gone, just keep checking back, okay, because it may have reappeared. It may be that one broker's got to it first, but the others will come in. Maybe the others match the deal somehow. It could be that one broker's got a big lump of stock and they'll get rid of it, and then possibly they'll be able to secure extra stock. So if you see any of these deals that have already gone, always check back over the next few days. Very important to do that. I should add, by the way, that one's a 2-year deal on 10,000 miles a year. Finally, we've got the Lexus RZ450e Direct 4 Takumi, which is the top level of spec on a Lexus. 252 miles of range, 313 horsepower, 0 to 62 in 5.6. Average price on that has been over £1,000. Currently at 633. We've seen it for 12 quid a month less than that before, but we've also seen it for about 700 quid more than that before. Folks, thank you very much for watching the video. please take the time to give it a thumbs up. Please take the time to subscribe to the channel, and please take the time to use my link when you go to LeaseLoco. Don't forget, if you want to have a chat, if you want to ask me loads of questions one-to-one, you can book a call on my website. You do have to pay, unfortunately, because I'm completely self-employed. I do this and business consulting, and if I'm taken away from one of those things, it's effectively costing me money. But I think the people that have had calls with me have got some value from it, at least 9 times out of 10 anyway. So thanks ever so much. Catch you on the next one.